The world she grew up in was so different, a mourner said to me about her remarkable mother, who was born in 1927 and died a few weeks ago. Oftentimes, women could not reach their full potential, she told me. They got married and gave up their dreams, and they were supposed to look beautiful all the time. The daughter of this bright, artistic, passionate woman recently found the journal her mother used to meticulously track her weight almost every day of her life. It reminded me of the scene from The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Did anyone watch this? Yes. A show set in the 1950s about a Jewish woman trying to make it as a stand-up comedian in a man's world. Despite Midge's pioneering spirit, she secretly got up before her husband every morning to do her hair and makeup, then slipped back into bed so that when they rose together, he would believe she woke up that way. You might also remember the part in which Midge takes her yellow measuring tape, wraps it carefully around her wrists, ankles, calves, torso, every circumference of her body, so she can diligently record the numbers in her journal. Why is any of this relevant tonight? Because with Purim just around the corner, I've been thinking a lot about Queen Esther and what she represents for Jews around the world. In case you need a refresher, Esther is a young Jewish woman living in Shushan, chosen from among dozens of beautiful women by King Ahasuerus after he executes his former queen named Vashti when she refuses to dance for the king and his officials. Later, when the evil Haman, I was prepared for this, forms a plan to exterminate all the Jews, Esther, who has concealed her identity, drapes herself in magnificent royal robes and goes before the king. Standing before him, she requests a feast where she will eventually expose Haman and reveal that she is Jewish. Thank you, yes. Ultimately saving her people. How do we explain Esther's success? One answer is that she captured the king's attention with her breathtaking beauty. We have passed that message down for generations. I recently learned that in the 1920s and 1930s, the popularity of national beauty contests in the United States gave rise to Jewish beauty contests called Queen Esther pageants. It gets better. The crowned winner received the title Prettiest U.S. Jewess, along with a free trip to Palestine, the name used before the establishment of the State of Israel. And while it's a little funny, doesn't it feel disturbing that the heroine of our harrowing story became the namesake of a beauty pageant, as if to suggest that elegance, desirability, and beauty are the necessary ingredients for making our mark on the world? There is much more to say about Queen Esther and what made her so extraordinary. And spoiler alert, it may not have been her looks. While we have made strides since the era of the marvelous Mrs. Maisel and Esther beauty pageants, the book of Esther and its many commentaries have a lot to teach us about what really matters in our own day. Because if I'm honest, I don't think things have changed enough. Maybe you feel the same. According to Midrash, Esther never wanted to be queen. She hid for 4 years, hoping to evade the king. She did not indulge in the cosmetics, apparel, and other treatments that were offered to the women preparing for the throne. Without these enhancements, how did she compare? How did she stand a chance? As it turns out, the rabbis of the Talmud suggest that Esther was not exceptionally attractive at all. Trying to understand why her Hebrew name was, do you know it? Hadassah, meaning myrtle. Ben Azai teaches that Esther wasn't tall or short, but average, like the myrtle tree. Another rabbi, Yehoshua ben Korcha, says that Esther was greenish and had a pale complexion. And yes, I know some of you are thinking about Elphaba. How could the rabbis imagine that an ordinary-looking woman who was greenish and pale could have been chosen over so many dazzling others? Well, Yehoshua ben Korcha answers, Haita vechut shel chesed mashuch aleha. A cord of chesed, of divine grace, was drawn around her. Maybe that means God was on her side, or maybe it means something deeper, that her loving kindness created an aura, that her inner beauty and goodness radiated outward and touched everyone she encountered. Before long, Esther, with her aura of chesed, must decide whether she will become a force for good. When Mordecai tells Esther of Haman's evil plan, he says, perhaps you have attained to royal position for just such a crisis. Esther, who didn't want to be in the palace, could have walked away. She didn't sign up for this. Instead, she risks her life by entering the king's inner court, something no one in their right mind would do. Perhaps before she looks in the mirror at her greenish face, at her ordinary stature, she thinks, I'm not good enough. Perhaps she doesn't realize that though she is wearing jewels and royal robes, she's cloaked in something far greater. Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, as Rashi calls it, a divine spark. The kind of spark that exudes compassion, the kind of spark that makes someone bold and brave, the kind of spark that enables someone to face their deepest fears for the sake of others. Even if our ancient rabbis set out to explain the name Hadassah, in doing so, they unlocked a lesson we urgently need today. I believe Esther's appearance had nothing to do with her courage or power. She was a force because of her heart and soul. But if that's true, why do we still live as though it isn't about our hearts and souls? Why do so many of us still tie our self-worth to what we see when we look in the mirror? Why do we believe the advertisements that tell us that happiness and success will come if we just try the latest GLP-1 injection or the newest hair loss treatment or a better age-defying skincare regimen? These things may boost our confidence. They may improve our health. We might feel more powerful in our power suit or in a perfectly tailored dress shirt with monogram sleeves. But deep down, we know that these things don't define us. We know that what defines us is how we treat others, what we do when we look around and see a broken world, whom we protect when others are desperate for safety. We know what matters is whether we clothe ourselves in garments of chesed and courage, whether we allow the divine spark within us to ignite. Because the world doesn't need more flawless faces or beautiful bodies that fit society's narrow definition of perfection. It needs more people like Esther, brave people, compassionate people, people willing to step forward for just such a crisis as this. This Purim, let's dress up in silliness and joy, but not to win any beauty contests. Let's commit ourselves to cultivating our inner beauty and integrity, and maybe even accepting our looks as they are. Together, we carry forward the strength and chesed that truly defined Queen Esther. Shabbat Shalom.
Shall go singing.